Morocco is the world's top producer and exporter of hashish. Just 14 kilometers separates it from Andalusia, making the strait the ideal transit route for smugglers. In the latest game of cat and mouse this past weekend, the smugglers got away, but the Royal Gibraltar Police seized a significant part of their cargo.
Well, it feels great because at the end of the day, although the vessel kept on moving and probably did have some bales, but you cause disruption and you let them know that we don't tolerate this, that our waters will not be used for drug trafficking, be it passing by or other ways. So it does feel an achievement for us in the work that we do, and we're committed to continue doing.
Usually it is passing by, isn't it? Usually the destination is Spain.
That's where it usually goes, to Spain. I mean, it's futile putting it into Gibraltar. They wouldn't have a market for such a haul.
At around 3:30 in the morning, the crew were out on a patrol when on the radar they detected a suspect vessel about a mile south of Europa Point and traveling north into the bay. As a result, they went to investigate this target, and they discovered it was a rib, which they saw when they closed up to them. They saw it was loaded with cannabis resin. A chase then ensued. Obviously, the drug traffickers are trying to avoid to be captured, and during the chase, they started jettisoning the bales, which we later seized, 12 in total.
The person navigating the vessel risks obviously being caught by the police and a term of imprisonment, which in our standards Gibraltar is more severe in punishment when we deal with drug traffickers than in Spain. Not only do they risk that, but it's better to lighten the load and keep some of the merchandise, because in this way the pilot, if he does get to manage to put that job in, he will still get paid part of his earnings for having done it.
Well, bear in mind we're talking here of large vessels fitted with very high-powered engines. They go at speeds in excess of 50 knots, between 50 and 60 knots. So it's really difficult to actually stop or outmaneuver one of these vessels. They are built for one purpose only, and that's for drug trafficking.
They just go to the extreme. You know, they will take us to the limits.
On this occasion, we were very close to the vessels. I mean, about 5 to 10 meters away from the vessel. So we had full view of the occupants. There were 4 on the vessel, plus all the load. Even though they threw overboard 12 bales, they still had further bales on board the vessel.
Normally a rib will carry up to 60 bales, and the actual bales will come with markings with letters and names, or letters and numbers, and that represents who the owner of the merchandise is. 60 bales is a lot of money for one person to purchase, so normally they buy in groups of people, so when it gets to the store or the warehouse, wherever they keep it away, they know which merchandise belongs to which individual.
How good is your cooperation with your Spanish counterparts in such an incident?
Well, we are always in contact with them, especially with the Guardia Civil, on issues relating to drug trafficking at sea. It's a daily contact that we have with them. They will report any suspect vessels that they themselves see, and we will immediately, when we are on the chase, inform them about it.
We do have at times maybe 4 or 5 ribs out there, and they will prepare everything to make it look, you know, that they are ready loaded, and obviously they get the heat on a vessel. All the alarm bells go off, we're after a vessel, and it's an actual decoy. What they do is they take us on a chase to subsequently, for example, if they work on the western side, by us going on a chase on the western side, that leaves the eastern side clear for another rib to come in and just unload all the bales.
Tell us a little bit about the use of stolen G plates, Gibraltar registered plates in Spain, to distribute or to move these drugs.
Yeah, well, it's actually known that that for these type of jobs they use stolen vehicles, because you cannot detect or trace the owner, and it's all the time about protecting their identities and making hard for police to carry out effective investigations. Stolen vehicles leads you nowhere, because if I were to lend you my vehicle to do a drug chase, you immediately detect the owner and so forth. So it's not uncommon for drug traffickers in Spain to actually use or clone G numbers and put them on stolen vehicles. Why? It's twofold. One, for detection. Once you get detected, it's a stolen vehicle G number. 2, a Spanish police officer seeing a G number cannot do a vehicle check to see whether that number plate belongs to, for example, a Range Rover or Discovery. When I'm talking about 4x4 vehicles, it's because that's the trait of type of vehicles they use to transport bales. And so they make it harder for the Spanish authorities to be able to see whether that vehicle, and it's not uncommon to see a G number in Spain. Mm-hmm. So therefore, being the proximity of Gibraltar and Spain, they use that and make it harder for the Spanish authorities, obviously, to keep tabs on them.
The police highlights the increased number of high-speed maritime pursuits. In the past year, the RGP alone has been involved in 417 such incidents with suspect vessels, seizing over 3.4 tons of cannabis.